Back to the Future the Musical's Broadway run has sadly made like a tree and gotten out of here, but it's still touring the US, still running on the West End, and it has more homes on the way. So despite the Broadway show's closure, the show is still going strong in other venues. But just how is the musical? And which songs written for the musical have that new sound we're looking for? And which songs are just too darn loud? Welcome to the D-List, the show where I list things and my name begins with a D. It's well known how much Back to the Future is my favorite everything, and I always thought it could make a good musical, or at least a good musical parody. Music is deep in its DNA.
Yeah, it's an action comedy, adventure, coming-of-age film. Musical.
I also never thought that would actually happen, because why would it? Who else would actually think to add musical numbers to Back to the Future? Well, apparently Leslie Zemeckis, that's who. And then it finally happened. It finally came to stage as a musical, and another Zemeckis movie followed not long after. At this rate, we're only a handful of years away from a Welcome to Marwen musical. I saw Back to the Future on Broadway and in the touring production, and as a stage spectacle, the musical is unparalleled, with fantastic casts bringing incredible scenes to life, buoyed by some truly impressive special effects. As an actual musical, it's alright. It's no Music Man, but I like most of the songs. So let's rank the original songs written for Back to the Future, the musical.
88 miles per hour.
Number 17, Hill Valley School Fight Song. This is like a school spirit cheer. It's not in the cast recording, so it didn't stick with me very much, but it's listed as a number on the playbill, so I guess I should acknowledge it. I remember it being fine. It's a high school cheer. It had a little bit of world building about Hill Valley High School, but nothing that changes that much. I'm presuming it's mostly there to help with the scene change. I remember basically no details about it. Next song. Number 16. Hello, is anybody home? Despite getting its title from one of Biff's catchphrases, this song is sung by the McFly family. The whole family. First, Marty sings.
My father doesn't have a spine. He grovels, scrapes, and toes the line. Hello, is anybody home?
Then George sings.
Listen to my mantra. Just leave me alone.
Then Dave has a verse.
I'm the man, oh yes I am. I got this thing wide. Have you heard 10 billion served? Gets me so inspired.
Then Linda has a verse.
I just want a date. She says she never called a boy.
Then Lorraine has a verse, which foreshadows one of her big songs later.
There was something about that boy.
Hello!
It's not bad, it just drags on and on. I'm pretty sure Dave and Linda have more lines in this song than they have in the entire film trilogy. And I'm okay with expanding their roles, but Dave and Linda could have shared a verse? Did we really need a big, passionate solo about contentment in food service?
And all I ever have to say is you want fries with that?
I get setting up the contrast between Marty's fear of being stuck and everyone else's contentment, except Linda's not content because Lorraine won't let her date. There's a lot going on and this could have been streamlined.
But now the walls just keep closing in, and I don't know if I'll ever win.
On paper, I get giving the McFlys a big number together, and I get seeing Marty's unhappy station in life, but we already heard him sing about wanting to get out of here. We already heard him lament his failed audition. We already heard Jennifer comfort him about how someday he will get out of here. At this point, we are firmly in mopey Marty territory, and we're like a half hour into the show, and we haven't seen Doc yet.
Don't need the complications. Pressure situation.
Again, I can't call it bad, it's just disproportionately paced. I guess I like setting up that the unhappiness the McFly family is feeling isn't just about money, but still, when you're adapting a movie with such efficient setup and exposition, and especially when you're adapting the scene that famously hides all its exposition in really fast jokes, it's notable when a scene like this drags. Number 15. My Myopia. George is up in a tree singing about his single-mindedness while creeping on Lorraine.
My myopia is my utopia, and I'm hoping ya
George is shockingly self-aware about his major character flaw. The comedic tone of Back to the Future lives in its delicate balance between the blatant and the subtle, and this song definitely leans more in one direction than the other.
I'm doing the best I can to see only what I want to.
Mostly this serves to show that in the original timeline, George hasn't grown at all since childhood. The "just leave me alone" he expressed in Hello, Is Anybody Home has always been his point of view.
Trying to avoid a confrontation, I would rather be in hibernation.
On the surface, the lyrics paint an empathetic view of George's inner life. The humor comes in the juxtaposition with his unjustifiably creepy behavior. And as is so often the case in Back to the Future, the true punchline is Marty's reaction.
Considering I haven't met her yet. He's a PP Tom!
Number 14. Teach him a lesson. In a scene that's almost out of part 2, Biff discovers Calvin is taking Lorraine to the dance, so he reprises a song of Lorraine's that we'll talk about later about his plans for the little pipsqueak.
There's something about that punk that I don't trust. He's dangerous.
There's stuff I like in this song, and I love the way it's staged, but some of the songs in this show don't quite live up to their full potential, and I feel like this one falls the shortest. I want a Biff Tannen villain song to be the funniest villain song I've ever heard. The man is my number 1 favorite comedic villain. He deserves at least as good a song as my number 4 favorite comedic villain. Spoilers for a decade-old D-list, I guess.
I'm gonna remind him of what a man can't do.
The main joke in this song is Biff says the opposite of what he means. And Biff's malapropisms in the movies have a little more to them than that. They're mostly about him hearing a pun, not fully understanding the joke, and then trying to recreate the pun without the actual part that makes it a pun.
So why don't you make like a tree and get out of here?
Oh, that's about as funny as a screen door on a battleship.
Have a nice trip. See you next winter.
The humor comes from the gap between the turn of phrase he heard once and what he actually remembers from it. And here that gap is just saying can't instead of can. It's not unfunny, it's just not as funny as his malapropisms in the movies, so it doesn't reach the full potential of the Biff villain song.
It's heads he wins, tails I lose.
So I did some research, mostly from this book, which details the long process of bringing Hill Valley to the stage, and from the deluxe edition of the cast recording, which includes a second disc of demos and early drafts of some of these songs. And from this research, I learned about some of the other attempts at a Biff song. First one was called It's What I Do.
I'm a bully down to the roots, and every goody two-shoe should be shaking in their boots. You see, we're all connected. The predator, the prey. It's just to be expected. It's in my DNA. It's what I do.
This take on Biff is shockingly self-aware about his entire lineage's station in life. It's like he knows that his whole family tree is fated to antagonize McFlys across the multiverse.
We're all in this together. We all have roles to play. The oppressed and the oppressor. It's always been that way.
The other one, Good at Being Bad, takes the opposite side of the nature versus nurture debate, beginning with a full 2 minutes of Biff lamenting his sad childhood.
I was a delicate boy. I had a hard time just playing with others. A deeply impressionable child who cried when his bird died, preferred pastel colors.
But then he gets upbeat with how he channels that into his new persona.
So don't complain, I felt your pain. That's why I'm good at being bad. I have the urge to simply purge these negative feelings I once had.
Okay, once you get past the slow start, I actually like this one a lot. It's catchy as hell, and there's a lot of fun to explore in the sensitive bully gag. I think we've all known a few bullies who weaponize their own trauma to justify inflicting it on others. That said, I don't think it's right for Biff.
Don't let me be misunderstood. I pick on you for your own good. When it's a win-win situation, then my fun's your education.
Again, he's self-aware on a level that's just not Tannen-esque. It would be good for another comedic bully, but not for Biff Tannen. And apparently Bob Gale's daughter agreed, telling him that the song came too close to making Biff likable. So it was scrapped.
good at being bad.
So yeah, none of these three takes really fulfill the potential of the Biff Tannen villain song. Tom Wilson's out-of-character songs would probably make for better Biff villain songs.
Green means go, Mr. Stupid Man ahead of me. Green means go, Mr. Idiot in front of me. Get off the phone, move your little hiney. If I miss this light, I'm gonna kill you.
It's a shame we don't get a villain song worthy of Biff, but at least Teach Him a Lesson is elevated in the performance. While the malapropisms themselves aren't as funny as they could be, humor is mined from Biff's henchmen getting more and more frustrated with his mistakes.
Yes, I'm the man you won't regret. Will regret.
Still, I hold out hope that maybe a future revival could give Biff the villain song he truly deserves. But what do I know? I'm just some butthead. Number 13. It works. Doc makes his grand entrance in a DeLorean that was not on stage a second ago, and he shows off his new invention and the most important feature of it, apparently, namely that it actually works.
It's a car for the stars, like Captain Kirk's. If the ones that knew of me to think it D-Day works. It works, it works, it works, it works.
Far be it for me to tell Zemeckis, Gale, and Silvestri what to do with Doc Brown, and I do like this song okay, but I would have preferred a patter song for Doc's big opener. Gale even had that thought in his notes, according to the book. After all, Doc is nothing if not loquacious, so just repeating a two-word phrase over and over doesn't really get to Doc's essence.
In terms of the vernacular, it's spectacular. Because it works, it works, it works, it works.
I also don't know if "it works" should really be the key sentiment here. Like, when young Doc sees the time machine, sure, but Doc conducting the first test? "It works" is not what he was yelling there.
88 miles per hour!
I feel like the sentiment should be less about the fact that it succeeds at what it does, and more about what it does in the first place. This should be a song about unlocking the fourth dimension, not just about inventing something that works.
Hey, Doc! Yeah! Who are the girls? I don't know, they just show up every time I start singing!
I've heard worse fourth wall break jokes in musicals, but I've definitely heard better too.
Weirder than the singing of the song itself is that you seem to be singing exactly one half of a song. Did you notice that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
Then again, they were probably expecting this to be a lot of the fandom's first musical, so I guess they wanted to ease them into it. I don't know.
That blunt force trauma when I slipped and hit my head. Shook something loose in me, some high fruit in the tree. And that's when I could see how fluid time could be.
Now, for any issues I may have with this song, the demo disc reveals that originally they tried a different style.
It works! It works! I can't believe it works! Took 30 years and all I had. Oh, great Scott, I wasn't mad. It works! It works! It works!
And it was Roger Bart who actually worked with Glenn Ballard and Alan Silvestri to rework the song to fit his style better. And I'll admit, the one they go with in the actual show is an upgrade.
It works, it works.
It works!
I get the old-timey showman instinct they went with here, but this version is just a little too corny.
Only took 1,000,000 thoughts and 1.21 gigawatts.
Or the backup singer supposed to be Trixie Trotter?
The future is coming today. There's a shiny new tomorrow on the way.
The version they went with in the show might not reach my ideal of the potential of a Doc Brown song, but it at least does feel like a DeLorean song, if that makes any sense. So I guess overall, it mostly works.
It works!
Number 12, Wherever We're Going. After Marty's failed audition, it's time for Jennifer to come in with the emotional labor.
Why do you let people put you down? It's not for them to say.
Jennifer Parker is the most supportive girlfriend in the world, no matter which timeline we're in. Whether she's Claudia Wells or Elizabeth Shue, presumably even when she's Melora Hardin, but we'll probably never know for sure, Jennifer has Marty's back, and the stage version is no exception.
Let me remind you, you're everything to me. Something good is flowing.
It's sweet. Jennifer wants to be with Marty wherever they're going, whether or not they need roads.
Wherever we're going is alright with me. There's no way of knowing, we'll just wait and see.
Yeah, as usual, Jennifer's not given much to do other than be the supportive girlfriend, but she sings her heart out.
Wherever we're going is alright
Now, based on the demo, the early version of this steered a little too hard into being a reprise of the opening number.
It's only a matter of time.
Which, like, you want your songs to be of a piece, and I know repetition is used to great effect in this franchise, but this comes mere seconds after the opening number, so it's probably good they changed their minds about overdoing it that quickly.
Yes, it's only a matter of time.
Of course, they get interrupted by the Save the Clock Tower lady, highlighting one of the small but crucial differences between film and stage. In the movie, she wanted to preserve the clock tower exactly as it was, keeping a useless broken clock in the middle of town just for historical significance.
We at the Hill Valley Preservation Society think it should be preserved exactly the way it is.
In the musical, she wants to save and restore the clock tower, get the clock working again to get Hill Valley unstuck in time, which is less funny, but more thematically poignant. The clock tower is now part of the metaphor for Marty having no future and going nowhere, which is interesting in a different way than the movie was funny. Number 11. Deep Divin'. At the Enchantment Under the Sea dance, Marvin Berry and the Starlighters sing a little seafaring song.
In the South Sea Islands, they dive for pearls. In the USA, they dive for girls.
Oh god, who's been trapping girls underwater? Is this Dire Dire Docks? Does Mario need to dive to rescue Peach?
There'll be somebody waiting at the end of the pool.
Structurally, this takes the place of Night Train, and it evokes it musically.
Everybody says that you should look before you leap.
But Night Train doesn't let Marvin Berry croon.
And when I look at you, I am ready to go deep.
The song itself does exactly what it needs to do. Establishes the dance, livens up the beginning before the plot points can start, fits in with the Enchantment Under the Sea theming, lives up to its full potential. Catchy, fun, pretty good. Number 10. The Letter / Only a Matter of Time reprise. Now, for most of the reprises in the show, I'll be talking about them at the same time as the songs they were reprised from, but this one is kind of its own separate thing.
I don't know how I ended up here. It's so hard to believe.
The first part of this piece is score from the movie, so that part is ineligible for this list, but the second part of the piece is a reprise of a song we'll talk about later, and it even draws a little bit from an unused earlier draft of that later song.
Destiny, I'm not sure what that means. And history, well, it's not everything that it seems.
But it also draws just as much from a song we've already talked about.
Wherever we're going is alright with me.
This is the Somewhere Out There of the show, with Marty and Jennifer duetting across time.
There's no way of knowing just where that will be.
Singing at the same time at different times. This, as they say, is heavy.
We'll get where we're going eventually.
You know, famously, the Bobs never really know what to do with Jennifer.
How many kids? God, what the hell are you doing?
But even though she's not really part of the story here, I like how she's using this number. This doesn't just throw her in as a Spamalot whatever happened to my part moment, but instead she's here to represent Marty's future. While Marty is lamenting his uncertainty, Jennifer represents the confidence and stability that he's reaching for.
Now I know all our hopes and our dreams are real and about to come true.
It's probably easier to be confident since she doesn't know he's currently trapped in the 50s, but even still, she represents the hope that his future could be. And on stage, this is further solidified by her sitting on a bench with an ad for where they live.
Hilldale.
I mean, where they're going to live. Someday. Unless they don't in this timeline, I don't actually know. Number 9. Pretty Baby. Marty wakes up in Lorraine's bed and she has taken a liking to him.
Pretty baby, got this funny feeling. Pretty baby, I might need some healing.
This song is not necessarily a particularly hilarious parody of 50s girl group songs, but it is an accurate pastiche of them.
It's getting hotter and it's giving me the chills. I think I'd better rest here for a while.
Musically, it even evokes Earth Angel a little bit, making the song Lorraine sings to Marty a nice little foreshadowing of Lorraine and George's song.
When I sit by your side, I just can't describe feeling these feelings I feel.
Admittedly, it maybe steps on the scene later at the dance when Lorraine is already this verbally forward. Like, her coming on to Marty at this point in the movie could still maybe be read somewhat innocently, but there's no misinterpreting this.
Good girls never do it. They won't do it till they do.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a girl who's parked before. I'm not judging, I'm just observing.
This can't be real. Tell me it's real.
But like with George's song right before it, the song itself, not necessarily that funny. The humor comes from Marty's reactions to it, which don't really come through in the cast recording because it's all physical comedy.
Pretty baby, I want you to feel it too.
So much of the humor in the movie comes from Michael J. Fox's facial reactions to everything happening around him. On stage, those reactions have to be a bit bigger and a bit broader, but they're still hilarious. Number 8. Future Boy. Doc tells Marty that he's stuck here, so Marty sings a sad ballad.
Future boy, I'm no future boy, 'cause I think I'm here to stay.
And in the demo, this whole song was pretty much done in this melancholy tempo.
Future boy, you're the future boy. There's no time for you to stay.
But in the show, new information and some Sylvester twinkles turn that ballad a little more optimistic.
The physics of this problem are perplexing. The muscles in my brain are busy flexing.
This portion incorporates what was originally meant to be a second song, One Way Street.
The physics of this problem are perplexing. So the muscles in my brain are busy flexing.
Yeah, bringing these songs together was definitely the right move. This is as close as we get to the Doc Brown Patter song I was hoping for, and it doesn't quite reach the full potential of the idea, but I really like the way it builds to the crescendo.
The only way to ever get you back to the future boy.
Also, according to the book, when they were looking for ways to liven the song up, Zemeckis stopped by and said, "I see tap dancing."
You're the future boy, and we know we found the way.
And the cast recording ends triumphantly. The onstage version less so, but it leads to a better fourth wall joke about Doc's backup dancers.
I'm the future boy.
Number 7, 21st Century. Doc opens up Act 2 by dreaming about what the future holds.
No more hunger, no more pain, they're things of the past.
This admittedly is a very 80s feeling song for 50s Doc to be singing, but hey, he's a forward thinker.
The sun will follow everywhere we go. There's no more climate in the future.
If I had to describe the song in one word, it would be Epcot-y.
Imagine what we'll see in the 21st century. 21st century's here.
This is closer to the sentiment I wanted from Doc's introductory number, singing about scientific discovery and the potential unlocked by his new invention.
Flying cars and strange machines will fill up the sky.
Instead, it's the Act 2 opener, just fun enough to get the show started, but just superfluous enough to give people time to get back to their seats from intermission.
Trips to Mars will happen every day.
The set for this is like a spaceship time machine that all feels very Institute of Future Technology-ish, to the point where you even see a dinosaur in this sequence, and also a TARDIS, not a reference to the ride, just a nod to the other time-traveling Doctor, and also hoverboards, both the right kind and the wrong kind.
Exercising while you're sleeping, give it a
try. Watch TV while inches fall away.
You know, the Bobs have often talked about their ethos in writing part 2, which is nobody ever predicts the future accurately, so you might as well make it a bunch of silly jokes. And this number continues that ethos, albeit Doc is the one making predictions he thinks will be correct, instead of the filmmakers making predictions they know probably won't be. But, you know, it's only been 10 years since those predictions were false. I'm sure we're going to get real hoverboards any day now.
And since we've given up cash, no more markets will crash and we'll vaporize trash. Just imagine paying all day and for double the pay.
I love that Doc immediately goes from we've given up money to we get paid twice as much. I realize it's his scatterbrain throwing every idea at once talking.
When the lake freezes over.
Winter, Doc, what are you talking about? Monday, it's 3 days away.
But if he keeps promising those kinds of internal contradictions, he'll have a fine career in politics. Oh God, just keep him away from Edna Strickland.
I got myself a time machine. Imagine what we'll see in the 21st century.
In earlier development, there were other ideas for Act 2 openings. First was a song called Time Travel is a Dangerous Thing, which sounds like the name of a Rogers and Clark first draft.
Telling the truth can be dangerous business. Why?
Yeah, I can reference Ishtar in a Back to the Future video. Try to stop me.
Time travel is a dangerous thing. 'Cause once you get there, you may never get back again.
Then after they scrapped that, they tried a song called Connections.
You've got to make the right connections. Because everything that we explore begins with what's been done before.
This feels like it could just as easily be a Chaos Theory song for Ian Malcolm. I'm sure we'll get there eventually. We're on track to turn every movie that got a Universal Studios attraction into a Broadway show.
You've got to make the right connections if you expect to find your groove.
The main impetus behind leaving both of these songs behind was the push to open the act on a major key song, and this one certainly does the trick.
In the 21st century.
It also ends with a pretty impressive magic trick if you don't know what's coming, when Doc disappears from one space and reappears in another. Number 6. It's Only a Matter of Time. This is the big opening number, musically introducing us to the show's version of Marty and the show's version of Hill Valley. Structurally, it takes the place of the Power of Love late to school scene in the movie, and it feels a piece with Power of Love musically, but it marries it with Silvestri's classic theme. After that new twist on a familiar motif, Marty sings his first lyric.
I'm looking around.
So he pretty much sings what he sees. Hey, fair enough, Marty's always been a verbal processor.
He's all right. Biff, he's a peeping Tom. Hey, I've seen this one. This is a classic. Black Pass Maple, that's John F. Kennedy Drive. Jesus, George, it was a wonder I was even born. What? Damn it, Doc. Why did you have to tear up that letter? What a nightmare.
Our laces, all right.
Shark still looks fake.
It is Wild Gunman. He's a complete wimp. But I live in Hilldale. This is great.
November 12th, 1955. That was the date I went back. Screen door in a submarine, you dork.
Ooh la la.
Talk about deja vu.
The cave!
So you're my great-grandfather. You're Mad Dog Tannen.
That's the $80.
It's a refrigerator. Doc can dance. Thank God you guys are all back to normal. I mean, this is where we're gonna live. Someday.
I've got no filter, may seem a bit off kilter. Every thought I have, I say, so might as well sing it today.
I'll rock my future, a winner, not a loser. Nothing anyone can say can make it any other way.
Marty's enthusiasm and optimism is a slightly different take than movie Marty's frantic scramble to school in this sequence, but I think it's the right call here. It's focusing on Marty's coolness, which still comes through in the movie through the frantic scramble, and his optimism for the future is, well, it's something we're all a little desperate for right now. Of course, he doesn't realize how much of his future rests in the past. And on the way to the audition, he runs into a candidate.
Elect me, Goldie Wilson. Listen for mayor.
I like how thematically Goldie is used throughout the musical to represent the future, to represent change. Progress is, after all, his middle name. It's reinforced by another subtle but crucial change from the movie. In the musical, he's only running for mayor at this point. It's fitting that as the representative of progress and change, he's the first one to sing not only the title of the song, but also the motif that draws from the movie's theme.
But it's only a matter of time till the bells of prosperity chime. We'll be part of a new day, a long overdue day. I'll lead us as we make the climb.
That said, in the original version on the demo disc, there was a lot more singing along to the theme tune before we got to Marty.
Is it luck?
Is it fate?
If you're early
Or late?
you'll change what it will be.
Yeah, I get the Hill Valley Greek chorus instinct here, but steering away from this was pretty wise. You can overdo it with singing to a familiar tune, especially marrying a tune we love with lyrics you don't yet know if we'll love. And we should get to our hero as fast as possible.
Just a time and a place.
But it's still kind of funny that this part gets reprised later, although less obviously to the Silvestri tune.
Destiny. I'm not sure what that means. It's only a matter of breaking through the fourth wall.
Oh, that's why you asked about the backup singers in It Works.
The greatest future of all. It's only a matter of time.
Then after Marty doesn't land the audition, there's almost immediately a little reprise called Got No Future.
I've got no future.
It's a separate track on the cast album, but it happens so soon and it's so brief that it's either an extension of this song or it's the first part of Wherever We're Going.
I won't be getting out of here.
And yes, that reprise comes from the original version of this song.
I've got no future, I'm not getting out of here. Cause no matter what they say, today's just like yesterday.
Again, I get why that was the instinct, showing Marty as an underdog, but changing that was definitely the right move. We want to get on board in our first song with a fun comedy adventure. That mopey, sad sack intro would probably be better suited for the Eric Stoltz version.
Got no future, I'm just another loser.
But the version in the show is a fittingly high-energy way to bring us into the stage version of the world we love so much. At least the 80s version. Number 5. Cake. Marty is welcomed into Hill Valley 1955 by the Chamber of Commerce, and everyone is very proud of this sure-to-age-well lifestyle. And they sing a song with the not particularly descriptive title of Cake. It makes sense in context.
You found the future and it's here. Just look around, you'll see it crystal clear.
I love how this is like the Good Morning Baltimore of a musical that just starts in 1955. I do think they missed an opportunity to have Hill Valley songs in different eras be reprises of each other in decade-appropriate styles. But it's fine. Separately, I like Only a Matter of Time as the 80s Hill Valley song, and I love this as the 50s Hill Valley song. The intrinsic contradiction of the future being here and it being an old-fashioned modern way of living is, well, it's fitting for a town with the oxymoron name of Hill Valley.
Our super-leaded gasoline.
Only 19 cents a gallon.
We'll keep our atmosphere so fresh and clean.
I also really love how the townspeople are singing about technological advances that, to them, are everyday mundanities that they wouldn't actually be singing about, because it's the exact same way sci-fi characters talk about their mundane-to-them future tech. It's just in the past instead.
For home insulation, asbestos is best.
Much like Doc's misplaced confidence in future predictions in 21st Century, this song is full of misplaced confidence in the present. I know that didn't age well humor can be low-hanging fruit, but when it works, it works.
It's no malarkey, our patriarchy. We'll show the whole wide world the way to live this way.
This is the most outright satirical song in the show, showing the unenlightenment of the 50s in full force, which admittedly is a different take than the movie had at this point. Since the movie was made when people were still nostalgic for the 50s, Marty's discomfort when he arrives came solely from his unfamiliarity with what to the audience at the time was a fun throwback. Only later do the hidden darknesses in the 50s gradually start to reveal themselves. But nowadays, we're a little more critical of life in the 50s, and Marty immediately reacts to the dark undercurrent of this shiny, happy suburban life.
What did I tell you? It's like utopia. It's a nightmare.
But even though it's more satirical than the movie's corresponding scene was about the 50s, it's not that much more satirical than the Bobs wanted it to be, based on the deleted scenes.
These filtered cigarettes are new, so new. And even doctors say they're good for you.
I like to relax by lighting up a Sir Randolph.
It just feels right when all of these white men dance to have their day.
I've criticized other songs for not quite living up to the potential of those moments in a Back to the Future musical, but this one, I'd say this one pretty perfectly encapsulates the full potential of a Hill Valley 50s song. Number 4, put your mind to it. When setting up the plan, Marty gives George some sage advice, with a little more detail than in the movie.
And when you talk, don't be loud. What? Friends are fine, but don't be part of a crowd.
Marty's advice is generally good, even if he still keeps forgetting when he is.
Try to swagger like Mick Jagger off the Stones.
Dick Jagger?
Stop apologizing.
I'm sorry.
Anything you wanna be.
Well, now I want to be Dick Jagger. What does he do?
Now in the book, Hugh Coles, who originated George on stage, cites this song as the moment George really joins the musical, and doesn't just have it happen around him. Even his earlier solo, By Nature, is isolated from everything else, but here is where George gradually learns to join the show.
Put your mind to it. And don't be blind to it.
Emphasis on gradually, as George struggles to keep up with Marty's dancing.
Put your mind to it.
Now, when I saw this on Broadway, J.J. Neiman was playing George, and he was great, but what really blew my mind was finding out that he was not only George's understudy, he was also Marty's understudy, which means he needs to know both the cool version of the dance and the dorky version of the dance, and I just know if that were me up there, I'd be getting them mixed up in my head every night. Props to him, what a performer.
Hey, you feeling it yet, George?
Yeah, right in my neck.
The demo version of the song is honestly pretty similar to the final version, the biggest difference being the title. It's called When You're Really Cool.
When you're really cool, you never hesitate.
It might not be the biggest upgrade from demo to final song, but I'd say it was still the right call to give it a name that actually reflects Marty's lesson to George in this scene.
Just put your mind to it.
I get it. My mind.
Number 3. Something About That Boy. Marty defends Lorraine from Biff, and Lorraine is smitten.
There's something about that boy. There's something about that boy.
The first time I listened to the cast recording, this one didn't make that much of an impression on me, but after I saw the show in person, I was sold because this sequence is fantastic.
And there's almost nothing I wouldn't do to make sure that his dreams come true.
There's just so many comedic hijinks and little action set pieces as Biff chases Marty around the school, while a semi-oblivious Lorraine sings her heart out.
Something about that boy.
There's something about that boy that I don't like.
And Biff gets his verse, which I like a little better than his reprise that I talked about earlier. Still not the full potential of a Biff song, but his malapropism here is a little more unexpected and therefore a little funnier.
I'm gonna find him, and when I do, and when you do, I'm gonna unwind him and break him right in 3, 2.
Like, that's closer to the rhythm of movie Biff's malapropisms. Plus, Biff's backup dancers are football players with numbers corresponding to the years visited in the trilogy, which is a nice little touch. Also, Strickland turns out to be just as much of a hypocrite as the 50s kids turn out to be.
There's something about that boy. I can't put my finger on it. I just wanna linger on it.
After stretching out so much of Act 1, it's nice to actually get a number that condenses several scenes in the movie into one, moving through the beats of the cafeteria scene and the Lou's Diner skateboard chase, while working in a different way of doing the Darth Vader scene. According to the book, this was because they wanted to do the Darth Vader joke, but in a way that doesn't cover up an actor's face in a musical, which makes sense. The producers of that fake Lilo and Stitch musical from Better Nate Than Ever didn't get that memo. And it all ends with Biff landing in a big vat of cafeteria spaghetti, making this one of the very few Back to the Future iterations to not have a tannin end up in manure. Even the ride had Doc doing manure-based experiments in the pre-show just to justify an ending with manure. An ending that ended up getting deleted, but still.
Something about that.
Something about
Number 2, For the Dreamers. After not instilling Marty with a lot of confidence, Doc sings about why this matters. It matters for all the people who have tried and failed.
So this one's for the dreamers, whoever tried to make it.
Doc has been a failure for too long, and now he has a taste of success. And he has to do it in honor of all those people who don't even get that taste.
Who strive to be a winner, go as far as they can take it, even if they don't quite make it. This one's for the dreamers.
I've been talking a lot about what I want from a hypothetical Doc Brown song, and I've been focusing on Doc's fun, wacky, energetic side, but this gets to Doc's pathos. This gets to the heart of Doc in a way that no other song in the show does.
Who never stop believing. One grain of sand becomes a pearl. A great idea can change the world.
This almost retroactively justifies Doc's opening number being about the machine working. He's been a dreamer, now he's gonna be a succeeder.
So this one's for the dreamers who live on inspiration, go as far as they can take it, even if they don't quite make it.
And Glenn Ballard basically wrote the song on spec. Bob Gale and director John Rando didn't ask for it. Ballard just knew the show needed a song like this, and he was right.
And I know how it feels to be told you're no good.
It may be a cliche to give a character an emotional ballad at this point in the show, but it's a cliche because, well, as the Doc himself says, it works.
Names we don't remember, they were close but no cigar, and we don't know who they are.
It's also the song that best uses Roger Bart's singing voice, not the gravelly, nasally cartoon mad scientist, his sincere, authentic pipes. Ironically, the song where he does the least Doc Brown voice is the song that feels the most authentically Doc.
This one's for the dreamers, like me.
And then there's a brief reprise from the top of the clock tower, blended in with the clock tower score from the movie, which is such a triumphant piece of music that it single-handedly justifies doing Back to the Future as a stage musical.
This one's for the dreamers, like me.
For all my nitpicks about the show, any issues I have with pacing or creative decisions I disagree with, I'm so glad I have this song. As well as the next one.
88 miles per hour.
And my number one favorite original song from Back to the Future the Musical, Gotta Start Somewhere. After taking inspiration from Marty, Goldie Wilson gives George a little pep talk. Or more accurately, he sings it.
What are you waiting for? Pick yourself up off the floor. If you don't respect yourself, won't get it from no one else.
It's a lively, inspirational song about taking that first step, even when the road ahead looks impossible. Again, the encouragement we all need nowadays.
No, I'm low man in the room. I'm still the best one with the broom.
I have never been able to pick my favorite character from the Back to the Future movies because I love them all so much. But my favorite character from the musical, Goldie Wilson, hands down.
You gotta start somewhere. You gotta get going or you're never gonna get there.
I love how he represents progress, change, and the future being what you make of it. Everything the story is about encapsulated in this character. Years ago, Matt Meyer and Jonah Ray were joking about doing a Back to the Future musical from Goldie's perspective, and this isn't quite that, but it is a Back to the Future musical where Goldie is the theme personified.
Might as well be right here, right now. Come on, boy. You gotta start somewhere. Listen up.
Of course, despite representing change, Goldie keeps some consistent philosophies from his humble beginnings all the way through his political career.
It's a matter of time, but it's only a matter of time.
But even disregarding thematic importance, it's just the catchiest song in the show, and the whole town dances to it. Even the manure guy, even though the manure's not in the show, he's still dancing.
You gotta start somewhere. You gotta start somewhere. And make yourself useful or you're never gonna get there.
I think this and For the Dreamers are the two songs that have the best chance of becoming standards beyond the show's life, and I hope they do because I love them both. And that's my ranking of the original songs of Back to the Future, the musical. But which one is your favorite? Let's discuss this all in the comments, and next month, I'll be back to rank the show's use of non-original tunes. Music that was in the movie before it was in the show. But if you don't want to wait for next month, you can watch that video right now on Patreon for a $2 pledge. And for a $3 pledge, you can hear the podcast episodes we recorded with our initial reactions to seeing the musical on Broadway. Links in the description. Of course, this is far from the only time I've talked about Back to the Future on video, and it's not the only time I've talked about musicals on video either, and you can watch some of the others in these playlists. And until next time, this is Dave, signing off.